Hey y'all, welcome back to Insecurity, the official recap podcast to HBO's Insecure. I am Crissle.
And I'm Hey Fran, hey.
And hey, this was episode 3 and we were just saying one of our favorites of the season.
Very good episode.
Yes, if not the best so far. We had a lot happen, so let's not waste any time.
Let's get in.
Getting right into it, Issa has made herself comfortable in Daniel's bed.
You know, I laughed. I was like, girl.
Yes. So she is in her Lakers t-shirt. So cute. Always repping. And Daniel's like, you know, you're getting on my side again, which is one of the things I hate the most about sharing a bed with somebody.
Especially a small ass bed.
Inevitably, they end up on your side. And I'm just like, can you move though? But she's like, it's because you took the good pillow, which, I mean, bitch, is my bed. All the pillows are...
It's my house. I can have the good pillow.
Pillows. But she actually takes the one out from under his neck and trades it with hers.
And then...
he sees that she's a dirty bitch who is eating hot Cheetos in his bed.
I was like, hold on now.
Issa.
Hold on now. But please explain to me how it got back there. That's all I need to know.
How did they end up under the pillow? This leads me to believe that Issa brings a stash of hot Cheetos, hides them under the pillow,
and just snacks
throughout the evening.
What kind of shit?
Because it just doesn't make sense otherwise.
That scene,
But you know the heart wants what it wants, and Daniel asks her what else the heart wants, and then it goes...
Did you know this was a fantasy sequence? I did.
I did not.
I knew immediately.
Not until the Cheetos fell all over her titties, and then I was like, okay, this is too much like a fantasy.
When she say extra spicy... I was like, okay, get to the real thing.
I mean, really, who doesn't want head and hot Cheetos for breakfast?
Can we talk about him passing the bag?
Yeah, like he knew exactly what she wanted. She was like, can you...
Goals.
This honestly sounds like a great way to wake up.
Oh,
thank you so much,
dream.
Issa, for my new goal in life. But yeah, the fantasy snaps away, and in real life, the heart wants to be on time for work. And I am so proud of her right now.
That killed me because... Did you see, though, he kind of grinned a little bit even when she said that? He was like,
he knew.
Still playing games.
Right.
It's all right.
But I'm proud of Issa. And honestly, throughout this episode, I think this is the most proud I've been of Issa this entire series.
I said the same
I am so proud of her. My girl is really growing up.
I stood up and clapped.
I'm so proud. Anyway, Issa and Molly are at the dog spa picking up Flavor Flav.
Yes, and he is getting a blueberry facial and a paw massage.
You wish your life was as nice as Flavor Flav's.
First of all, I forgot the damn dog's name was Flavor Flav. So when Issa said that, I was like, what he got to do with this?
Oh, you ain't shit.
Such a cute little episode, though. Shout out to Link and Kid Fury. It totally reminded me of them.
Absolutely, because Link just got her hair done as well.
But anyway,
I love I love Issa's Lauryn Hill t-shirt.
Oh, I missed it. You always catch the details.
I love it because it's in like, you remember how Cash Money did all their album covers and like that diamonds and shit? It's a Lauryn Hill's name is spelled out like that, but it's a Lauryn Hill t-shirt.
I totally missed that.
I need that fucking shirt so bad.
Gotta go back and watch it.
But yes, Molly's excited about the new job, to have all black co-workers, talking about it'll be shea butter dispensers in the bathroom.
You thought of me, didn't you?
I did. I said, "Oh, Fran."
Goals.
She asked Issa about her new job, but Issa hasn't started it yet. Of course, she's just going on the interview, but she Google mapped the apartments. They seem nice. So.
Yeah, and she's telling her that, you know, it's been kind of nice staying at Daniel's, though. She doesn't even know if she wants to move out like that. And Molly's like, hold up now. What's so nice about the couch?
Where did this come from, right? So now that Molly knows that Issa has been upgraded from the couch to the bed, she's like, this is a bad idea.
Oh, girl, no. What? The couch got uncomfortable, so we just started sleeping in bed together, but just side by side, platonically. Oh, girl, no. It's not like we fucking. Not even a little bit. I mean, has the thought crossed my mind? Yeah. Do I think about it a lot? Yeah. Am I thinking about it right now?
No.
Yes.
But anyway, I'm not going to do it because I really don't want to fuck up this new thing that we have.
Which threw me off, that part. I was like, Issa, what do you want? She's talking about they're building a connection.
Right. But then it's like, but you clearly still, it's not like you just want this friendship connection with him. So I don't understand.
And there's no clarity. They haven't had a conversation. Neither one knows what the other wants.
Even though, ultimately, I do still think it's a good idea for her to not be fucking Daniel. I really do think that it is.
I, too, think it's a good idea, but I want them to just talk. What are you doing? Now y'all in the bed with the Cheetos. And
it's going to have to happen. And, of course, you know, Anyway,
we ain't
I thought it was so funny that Issa just insisted on eating one of them little doggy treats.
Talking about, but why I got fudge on it then?
Why I got frosting in?
Right, frosting, that's what it was. Like, you know, those
she
are
was
dog
so
treats.
Indignant. Like, if it's for dogs, why is it powdered sugar on top?
The fact she was standing there the whole time staring at the snack.
So Issa and Frida are at a job fair looking for people of color to hire at We Got Y'all.
Yep, and Issa's telling her, you know, it's about time we start getting some black folk. And
That's
Frida's
right.
like, you know, technically, we cannot hire people based off of race.
However, we are not wasting time with
But
white
that's
people.
what we're about to do.
Right. Frida was like, facts, though. We're really not. I love the poster with all the fun facts about the staff, which are also, I believe, on the We Got Y'all official website.
Are you serious?
I think I've seen those before.
I'm dead. But come on now. When she was talking about, what's her name? Kitty
had a twin, but she absorbed her in the womb.
Yeah.
I
I was like, is this really on the poster?
And it was. It really was on the poster.
Oh, my God. And I love that they shouted out Harlem's Children's Zone.
They
I
did.
thought that was so awesome. I wonder how the president feels about that, because they even gave him a little shout out when she was saying that she spotted him, which made me laugh because Issa was like, who?
Right. And it just highlights the disconnect. Like, Frida is so passionate about what they're doing, and Issa's just at work.
Totally informed on the industry. She mentioned, and I have to shout him out, Jeffrey Canada, because he is a Bronx-bred Harvard graduate.
Go off.
Right, who created Harlem Children's Zone. I've had friends who've worked there, and they have totally vouched for the program. They have nutrition workshops. They have after-school programming, a couple of charter schools.
Oh, so you are actually Frida standing right now for Jeffrey Canada.
That's why I was like, you better shout out a Harlem icon.
Yes, I
just thought that was great.
I love that. Frida is actually Fran, as you all see. Frida stands exactly like Fran just did.
Shout out to Jeffrey.
Yeah, but again, Frida's so passionate about this, and Issa is at work.
This whole episode,
right?
Though.
She is. Her heart is not in We Got Y'all, especially the way Frida's is. Like, Frida is all about what they're doing here. So, speaking of being at work, Molly's at her new job meeting her coworkers.
Which looked cute at first when she walked in.
Yes,
you know,
Dorian.
all the black.
Molly, I'm Torian.
Hey, nice to meet you.
So how are you?
Excited to be here.
All right.
Molly, hey, I'm Felicia.
Oh, hey, nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Karen, your assistant.
Oh, girl, bless you. Look at us. Looking like a McDonald's commercial.
Molly got a job. I cried. I remember them Calvin Got a Job commercials. Oh, I love this show so much.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, she gets shown to her new office, and she does a little jig in front of the window.
Bomb-ass
You
view.
know, things are looking very nice.
So far.
Meanwhile, Daniel's at Khalil's apartment, and the difference between Khalil's apartment and Daniel's is striking.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that.
And I think that because of that, and because of all these other things that we've already talked about before, Khalil being more successful, Daniel is probably already on the defense just being in the same room.
But he did look happy.
He did. So he
At
did.
first, right?
He did.
Looked sized.
Yes.
Like he was like, shit, this is my moment.
I could not help but notice. Like, because Khalil's apartment was so nice that I was like rewinding, trying to get details of, like,
you know, I was like, nice table. I like how the couch is angled.
I really love it. And so Khalil is giving feedback on the track that Daniel brought in.
Telling him to water it down.
But he's saying, you know, the melody is nice, but this can go harder in certain parts, drums here. And Daniel is pushing back on this a little bit.
Totally resistant to all of the feedback.
Resistant, and Khalil even says, you know, I know what Spider likes. Like,
right.
I'm not saying you're not good. I'm saying we can add this shit to make it something that is going to be palatable to this nigga that you're trying to sell the track to.
And
like,
he's worked with him, so
right.
why wouldn't you listen to him?
Because your ego's in the way and you're feeling defensive and you're jealous of this man, but at the same time you have to be grateful because he's giving you an opportunity, but you're about to let your ego fuck it up.
The whole shit.
Anyway, I'm jumping ahead of myself.
And I mean, Khalil's version of it still knocked.
It did.
It wasn't as musical, obviously, because it was a little watered down. He put it in a loop, but it was an awesome beat.
It sounds good. And he's saying, we can play this day after tomorrow for Spider. And I can tell by the look on Daniel's face, he feels a way about it.
Yeah, you saw.
Like, what I brought in was perfect. But so here's the thing, Daniel. If you were at a point where Spider was interested in your music, you wouldn't need Khalil to run interference for you. I'm just saying, you have to understand that when people are trying to work with you or constructively criticize you, it's not saying that you're trash because you didn't do it this way.
But it's saying
what you brought to the table is good.
Right.
But you need to tailor it to this specific thing that you're trying to do.
Right.
And he cannot take that criticism. It's too much.
This episode really showed me a lot more of Daniel.
Daniel's insecurities.
I feel like we've seen little snippets, obviously, of his dynamic with Issa, but now that we get a little more backstory on his personality and seeing his dynamics with other people, I'm like, I
was like, oh, Daniel, you're going to let your jealousy fuck this up. You're going to do it. And I wasn't wrong. But anyway, back at the job fair, Frida and Issa are meeting a lot of different applicants. Mm-hmm. Issa steps away to get some food and runs into a performance by this band.
Yeah, which was interesting.
Thing. It really was. To me, it looked like a second line. Do you know what a second line is?
It looked like a combination of a second line and Dia de los Muertos.
I thought the exact same thing.
I was like, this is interesting.
Right, so I'm like, what
a fusion
is that?
Of two cultures.
I don't know if that is something that Dia de los Muertos does as well.
I mean, I don't know that they do hip-hop performances, but...
Oh, see, I don't know anything about it other than
but I mean, it's traditional
what I saw
events.
On Coco, and that was a very beautiful, moving movie.
Super beautiful. But I thought, obviously this program is catered to the kids.
Right.
And whatever they want to create. So this was their fusion of music.
So I loved it. And so did Issa. They're called the Beat Crew, and Issa goes by the boot to compliment them.
And the leader was really adorable.
Little girls, fax, no printer. I love that all the little girls on this show are written super confidently.
And perfectly.
Yes, they really are. Just every time. I love it so much. But Issa's talking to the guy who works at Beat Crew and how her mama took her to a Ladysmith Black Mambazo show when she was 10. And I'm like, girl, what?
She's so awkward.
But she is kind of in awe because this is speaking to her as something that she would love to do. Something
as
that
a
she
rapper,
may be.
As a
how she is.
A proud rapper.
She is. She has not had, any bathroom mirror time yet this season.
She hasn't. What's going on? We in the third
Well, because she don't have her own mirror. Oh. It's not safe. Mm. But yeah, she's actually having a conversation with the guy and is saying, wow, you must be so... And I'm thinking fulfilled is coming right after that. But Frida pops up.
Frida's like, the line. Come away from the job you're drawn to and back to the one you hate.
Right. And you actually have to do that. So, thank you so much. Gonna take your little flyer and brochure, and she has to go back to We Got Y'all.
And I was trying to read that scene. I was like, is Issa drawn to him, or was she drawn to the whole music and kids? Because I felt sparks, and then I was like, I could totally be reading.
I can tell Issa wants to work with kids, but I think a musical program is way more up her alley than what she's doing with We Got Y'all.
Totally.
And I think she was also drawn not to the guy himself, but to the fact that he was so passionate about his job.
Got you.
Like, wow, I would like to feel that way, and I think I could feel that way at that company.
Right.
So she was about to get into it when Frida came in with the reality. Time to go back to work. At work, Molly is printing something on her computer, and she notices that DocuSign isn't installed on her computer, so she asks Karen to call IT, and Karen's like, "Oh, we don't use
DocuSign. Huh? You can encrypt and send with Adobe, but that's like a whole thing, so we just use a courier."
Really? DocuSign is so much faster.
Sorry. Pickups are usually 9, noon, and 5, but if Rashad's doing the run, it's more like 5:30. He lucky he cute.
Oh, okay.
Wow, girl.
So Molly is like, not only do you not have DocuSign, you don't even have an in-house courier service. She is less than impressed. And Karen definitely gives her that up and down look and is like, okay.
Right? And then Molly's like,
out.
well, because, at my last office.
In my last firm, we just did things differently. Okay, girl, well, we're not at your last office anymore.
What is it? She can't stop saying that. But I guess she does not even realize she's saying
Oh,
it.
no, she doesn't. Not yet.
Not yet. So that freaking meeting.
Yes. So Issa is at her job interview at the apartment complex.
Yes.
Yes. And
I remember you asked me why I thought that Issa wouldn't be good at this job. And when he was asking her about plungers.
Right. I said, oh, so there was Fran's point.
Could you imagine someone hitting up Issa to fix heat?
No.
A broken window.
No.
Noise, someone ain't pay the rent. Issa.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Property manager must also mean like handyman type person.
You have to be in charge of everything.
See, Issa can't fix nothing.
And then you have to be on call.
Right. So I guess, she would have to be on call during whatever her part-time hours are.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she can work it out where she can do that and we got y'all. I don't know.
See how.
I don't really know. But the allure of paying 50% off rent.
Right.
That's $750 for that apartment.
She was like, this a lot of
I'm
wood.
going to have to make it work. I don't care.
The way she turned around when he said the price.
Right. She was like, what?
With my credit score in this economy?
Yes. She's like, $750 is something I can afford.
Wow, man.
That's affordable rent.
That almost made me consider project management.
Now listen, okay? I said, now I understand. I would Google how to plunger things. For 50% off my rent.
I would be hiring all of the cousins. Okay. Like, listen, who fixes windows? Who works in the bathroom?
I'm not
who
mad
does
at
electrical?
That. Yes, and the man's like, look, you have a degree and you seem mostly clean. So if you want the job, it's yours.
I was kind of dead though. I'm like, brother, you should probably hire someone who knows what they're doing. She doesn't have any experience talking about, would she say she's a problem solver? That's that shit you say at job interviews when they're like, can you use Excel? Absolutely. Do you speak a second language? Yes.
No,
and
you
then
took 2 years of high school Spanish. And if you have to run anything in Excel, you are going to.
You know how many times I have lied about Excel, but by the grace of God, no one has ever made me use it.
Oh, man. I learned a lot of things on Excel via the internet because I had to.
YouTube tutorials.
Yes, actually. They're out there and they're helpful.
Dead, Issa. My goodness.
So, but yeah, for $750, girl, I would fake it too. Sorry. Sure would. Maybe he felt like, I'm going to just give a young sister a chance.
Or maybe no one's applied. You know what I mean?
I doubt it.
You think?
I really doubt it.
You think people who are less qualified than Issa have applied?
But, well, first of all, yes, because a lot of people, a property manager is not really a job I think you need a degree for. In fact, I think it's probably more helpful
based
if
on
you
experience.
Can fix things.
Yes.
Right. And you have experience working with different people and managing properties, then that would be ideal over anything else.
Right.
Issa doesn't have really either one of those.
She doesn't have much of anything.
She's not really qualified for this, but it is such a good look for her. Like, why would you not? Why would you not?
I mean, she just needs that crib. So more than anything.
And the price, again, it just cannot be beat. But anyway, Issa and Daniel are at the wash house.
Oh, this scene.
I love that Kevin is on the big screen.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, there's a big screen.
You are good. I did not notice that.
Yeah, but the audio's not on, so we don't hear any part of it. We just get to see it a little bit.
And I was distracted by the grandma that was stealing clothes.
Issa called her.
Oh, I'm sorry, baby. And then she turned around like, bitch.
And moved over to the next dryer. So at first I just thought, you know, their dryers were next to each other.
Right, she mistook the dryer. No, she just got caught.
Actually just about to take that right on down to the Buffalo Exchange and sell them clothes.
To Beacon's Closet for a jacket.
Oh, God. Anyway. He is complaining to Issa about the changes that Khalil made on the track. You know, he's been listening to this Nordic music. Issa's goofy ass. I
love that she is realistic though.
Yeah.
You know, like she keeps telling, she's supportive. Like she's like, I totally feel you, but consider that this is just a way to get in the door. Mm-hmm. And then once you're in, you can kind of switch it up. Yes. Once you're popular and make the music you want to make, even though it doesn't always work that way. Because people usually want to hear what you came in making.
That's true.
So that's sort of like a common misconception that you can just switch things up when you're famous. But I appreciate that she is like rational when it comes to the advice she gives them.
Well, also the changes Khalil made weren't so drastic.
I didn't think so either.
They really weren't. Like, I don't understand why Daniel is tripping this hard off of it.
Because he wanted his beat. The way he created. And I get it. You're a musician. This is how you heard it in your head. And now here comes someone tinkering around and changing it completely.
But it's not changed completely. Like,
he took a lot of the musicality away from it. It's literally just a loop with more drums. Like, he literally was like, let's just loop this section. But I'm saying, if somebody likes that beat and they're like, hey, who did that? And they go to Daniel, he can create something else with that same bass sound, is what I'm saying. Like, you provided the foundation for this sound. So I feel like, girl, he wanted it his way. But when you're at the entry level and you're compromising to work with somebody else for an opportunity, you have to do that. Like, I don't understand why you won't. I just really could not understand why he was so defensive about it. But Issa tries to tell him, you know, this is just kind of how the game works. If you need a tambourine player, let me know. And then there goes their little cute I'm available for the right project. She always reels him in when they get into that little like dynamic, and then you see his whole face just kind of morph and disarm, and then immediately she pulls back though. Right. She always pulls back when she pulls him in. Yep, she does. It's like she wants to go back to making terrible decisions, but my girl is growing. And maybe she's teasing him. I don't know. Just to know that she can. She might, because she's trifling. And then what pulls her out of it, was it the dude realizing that his laundry was stolen? Oh my God, yes. That was too much. That was too much. So she tells him, she's telling Daniel. I almost called him by his real name. You don't forget. She's telling Daniel about the new job offer in the apartment. He doesn't want her to move out. He's saying, it doesn't sound like a good idea. You know, you locked yourself out of my place 4 times, you know? It sounds like a lot of work. And how you going to balance lift, and we got y'all. And I'm like, wait a minute. Right? Now, come on, Daniel. You clearly have feelings for this girl. Who is begging the worst house guest in the world to stay? Who is doing that? But not only that, I will say I was annoyed at this part, because obviously he's just his self-interest at this point. Definitely. But I'm like, brother, you should be like, that's dope. Like, which one do you want to do? And kind of examining her options and seeing which one would be. But he's being selfish. He wants it to himself. But she's been so supportive of him. She has. So that's I will say the way that she supports him is not the way he supports her. At all. Nope, it's not. But I think that's because she's still trying to convince herself that she can like be platonic with him and they can have a good relationship, and he's still thinking, you know, they're sleeping in the same bed. You know, she's lying to herself a little bit here. Just a little bit. But she, you know, she doesn't want to keep bumming at his place. He swears that she's not, and she's welcome, and he likes her being there. I'm like, you just like her. He's like, let's just be real about it. Now, I will say, free is better than $750. It is. Free is better than $750, but $750 is such a good idea. But if it's sharing a bed with somebody you want to share a bed with. Which she does, apparently. So, I mean, I'm still saying I would take the apartment and the job. Absolutely. But I understand if you broke, even saving $750 is saving $750, right. You know? Put that towards that $425 credit. Yes. I get it. So, you know, she's dancing with danger over the idea of staying in Daniel's house, but it is still alluring. What is it? Don't look a good horse in the dick. Never look a good horse in the dick. And that's when the young man was like, who the fuck took my clothes? The fact that lady. And I'm like, yo, that lady literally moved on to the next victim. What the fuck, man? The way that dude said it was so real, though. I could not. I said, yo, so she really was still Issa Skull. She wasn't mistaken. Talk about, oh, I'm sorry, baby. And then as soon as she turned away, her face was so stank. Oh, God. This show, the little liners, the one-liners be taking me down. Yes, it's just too much. So anyway, Molly is at work when her coworker Felicia offers to Oh, the Fitbit.
She invites Molly, on a walk during her lunch hour. You know, she's in a Fitbit contest with her mother-in-law. She will not lose. And when Molly says she wants to get a head start on work, she offers to help, you know.
And says she'll put the Fitbit on her dog.
Right. Which is,
Mother won't know.
Why not?
Okay.
It's great. And so Molly is like, sure, thanks. And I think she's feeling like, okay, cool,
Teamwork.
Bonding, with Felicia, my coworker. She then tries to open her office door and there are boxes all in the way.
Apparently her office is now a storage.
Right. She thought they were going to storage, but her office is the storage. And one of the other associates is like, you get used to it. After a while, it's convenient.
She's like, well, at my old office, we used to have, what'd she say?
We had off-site storage.
Off-site storage. And he was like, well, this is more convenient because it's right there.
Right. And I'm thinking, of course, I also would not want stacks and stacks of boxes in my office. But Molly seems to not understand that when you working at an all-black firm, I can guarantee you they're not making the money that her previous white firm was making.
Right.
Absolutely not. And white people can afford all those little luxuries that you got used to at your white firm, like DocuSign, instead of that outside courier service and off-site storage, instead of storage in your office.
That's so true.
That's the thing. White people can afford that. Now, didn't you get the salary and the benefits? Weren't you bragging about that? How you got the things you wanted?
And she was making fun of how the office is really nice. So they spent all this money. Didn't she compare it to an uncle of hers who had a mansion?
Oh, yeah. Later on at the bar. Right. So I'm like, Molly, you're going to have to accept that, they don't have the money to be spending on extras the way white people do.
What would you do in that situation?
I would have already expected that.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. Because I understand that even if it is a really nice law firm in, where was it, Century City? Yeah. It's a nice firm and the offices are nice and all this. I'm going to expect that they're not making the money that a huge white law firm is making. I just know that.
Right.
So, yeah, those little luxuries that you get.
Tons of studies will show you.
Yeah, those little luxuries that you get, you just don't.
Right.
I'm not saying I would expect shitty facilities and for nobody to ever be on time and late paychecks and shit like that.
Right.
Not nothing like that.
Would you just roll with the punches?
But the luxurious things, yeah, especially if I got the salary and benefits that I negotiated for.
True.
I absolutely would accept,
that's a good way of looking at it.
That you don't have the nicest things in the office.
That's true, because it's not like they cut corners with her position.
Yeah, not at all.
Right.
So I feel like Molly's being a bit of a diva.
Bougie?
Yes, absolutely. And she keeps bringing up her old firm bitch, nobody cares. You don't work there no more, girl. So anyway, she was on my nerves. And she's at the bar with Issa, Kelly, and Tiffany complaining about all this stuff. And Issa says, that ain't right. Black people are always harder on black people than white people are. And even Kelly has a white accountant. She said, don't at me. That's not what I said.
Oh, when she asked Tiffany, she was like, you love Beyonce. Are you signed to Tidal?
Yes.
And she was like, yes, but I don't use it.
And I mean, same.
In other words, the artists aren't getting the streams if you're not using it.
I give Beyonce my money every month. And when Everything Is Love came out, yes, I was very grateful to have Tidal because it was Tidal exclusive.
That's true.
So you get to hear it first. So, my membership is never a waste of money.
But I like Kelly, also use the white version of it. I felt dragged.
Right. So they're having a conversation about it. And, maybe it's just that Tiffany brings up, the pregnancy that she's in and she doesn't like fitting into her new clothes. She doesn't, I know that there's a group chat without me. Do I love it? No, it's fine. It's fine.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Fine. But it's nobody's arguing with you.
We weren't even talking about this. So you're
kind of just trying to convince yourself. But anyway.
I didn't even see the connection. I was like, what?
I don't know how she found out about this group chat.
But how did this get into the group chat conversation?
Because that's really what's on her mind. That's how.
Just say it's pregnancy brain.
It's pregnancy brain. She is very
Hormones.
much all about this pregnancy, and she says the baby's her new journey. Maybe the new firm is Molly's. Molly needs to look at it like that, perhaps. Issa says, I hope you're not doing all this complaining at work. And Molly says, no, just with y'all. Bitch, you thought Bitch, you thought. I don't even know. She's really in denial if she thinks she hasn't been complaining at work.
That's what I was saying earlier. I feel like she doesn't even catch that she's saying this in the moment. And then Kelly's like, blacks are just distrustful of each other. And then at that point, she's like, who took my drink?
And it was definitely the bartender who took your empty cup.
She looked at Issa like, you stole my shit.
And then said it was the black bartender. No, it wasn't.
She's like, of course.
Oh, so they make their way to the table. They call for the table, and Tiffany does her and a half.
Oh,
God, we really gonna have to deal with. Yes, we are gonna.
Where
have to
is
deal
her
with this.
husband? Where are the men of this? Like, what happened to Chad?
I'm not missing them. Wherever they are,
They literally
can
are
be
like
there.
off script.
That's fine with me. So Kelly found an apartment for Issa with a half bath, but it's okay because she could shower at the YMCA
After
up the street.
6, though.
After 6.
Could you imagine? You see Issa's face? She was like,
No,
wow,
I don't
thanks.
think so. So that actually sounds worse than staying with Daniel. I'm going to have to say, if I don't have a whole bathroom, that is worse.
The
than staying with
YMCA
Daniel.
after 6.
But all 3 of her friends agree that her staying with Daniel is a very bad idea.
Why were they so against it? I was trying to go back into the previous seasons. Like, what was it that Daniel did? I remember he interfered when she was with Lawrence and was down to cheat. Remember, that's how we got introduced to him.
Right. So
did he ghost her?
Well, remember the last time they really got into it, the last time Issa and Molly got into it, wasn't it at that same event where Daniel showed up?
Right?
Yes.
Where Issa told him that he was an itch she needed to scratch,
yes.
remember?
And that's when his heart was broken, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada.
But that's I'm like, where did this turn where all of them are like, no?
I think Molly is kind of associating that big fight that she and Issa had with that same moment of like, anytime Daniel gets involved, there's like big drama and fuckery, right? And it never works out with you and Daniel. Like, here you go again, and whatever y'all are doing, you're lying to yourself about it, which is true.
But it was like unanimous.
It was. Everybody
Very
absolutely agreed. And Issa was like, I think I'm just finally seeing him for who he really is. And Kelly says, you seeing him because you don't got nut in your eye.
Oh, God.
Ooh, the concept. I said, oh, my God. When your friends are just a little too real with you.
Kelly, I always wonder how many of these lines she just threw in there.
Yeah, because a lot of it is improv.
You know a lot of it is improv.
Right.
She is so funny.
I think the don't look a gift horse in the dick was improv.
Her?
Yes, I think it was. Don't quote me. Ask her.
We got to ask her on Twitter.
But yeah, it's anonymous. It's a Greek chorus on no, y'all should not do this. And isn't it worth exploring? And Kelly makes sure to throw in a dumb bitch.
And she was really, Issa at that point seems like she's really into Daniel. I'm like,
well, because Daniel got in her head about it. And yeah, Daniel got in her head about it and was like, look, girl, this could work. Like, I like having you around. You're not a bother or nothing. She really does have feelings for Daniel. So I think she just wants to stay.
I guess I've just been confused about what it is that she wants. So the fact that she's being a little more clear and open about wanting this connection, I'm like, okay, I guess this is what we're doing.
She wants a connection, but she doesn't want to have sex.
Someone who,
so
I don't know.
It makes sense that you're confused because Issa's sending out mixed signals, which Daniel accused her of and wasn't lying about.
And clearly the both of them, because he's still on this Vanessa shit.
So yeah, she's in her feelings about it. She's thinking about it again, going back and forth about this decision. Meanwhile, Frida and Issa are interviewing Antoinette, who we met at the job fair.
That's right. And Antoinette is sharp.
She is. She's on her shit, and she and Frida are getting along great.
Right.
Meanwhile, Issa is like barely there. Frida's talking about their 5-year plan, and Issa's like, yeah, good things coming fast.
Well, why she look at Issa expecting her to break down the ambitious 5-year plan?
Well, because she had been sitting there talking the whole time to this girl. Issa had not said one word. It's like, girl, you are also in this interview.
But it also seems like, have they ever hashed out this 5-year plan? Because Issa was completely clueless.
Well, I think that was the point. The fact that Issa should have known about it. It seems like, I think what we were supposed to get from this scene is that Issa absolutely knows about the 5-year plan or had access to it. But it's so checked out of what's happening at We Got Y'all that she was thinking of all the other good things that have 5 in them.
Like $5 foot long.
Five Guys burgers.
Then she said, it doesn't have to be about food. 5 fingers.
Toes. I'm like,
This was secondhand embarrassment for me because the girl's looking at her like,
right? Because Antoinette's like,
okay,
do you work here? What the fuck?
Frida was like, yeah, so I'm gonna go get Joanne.
Yeah, because like Issa's literally sitting here like she has no idea what the fuck is going on.
Do you not already see Antoinette replacing Issa?
Oh no, I definitely do.
Immediately, right?
And I think Issa is fine with that. But I do love that when Frida leaves, Antoinette's like, all right, girl, give me that. She gives her the black
It's
look.
just us in the room now.
Yes. And Issa says,
You know, they are how they are.
Oh, yeah, I know.
But honestly, it's like any job. There's the good, the bad.
Yeah. So how long have you worked here?
5 years.
Oh, wow. So you must really like it then.
And then it was brought to her awareness in that moment, like, holy shit, I've been here for 5 years.
5 years, and I don't really like
hate this job.
Right. She really doesn't. She is thinking about the beat crew a lot. So again, that's what I'm saying. I think it's not, she definitely should have known her shit about the 5-year plan if she was invested like Frida is, but she isn't.
And most importantly, what are you doing at a job this long that you are this disinterested and unhappy in?
There it is. So at work, Molly's work, her new firm, not her old firm where she doesn't work anymore. They are having a staff meeting.
Right. And they're waiting for, what was her coworker's name? From Malcolm.
So where's Malcolm? What is he, LCB time? I love us. We're so black up in here, can't even start on time.
Actually, Malcolm usually takes a call, and we get the meeting started before he comes in.
Right, of course.
Maybe at her old firm, they started every meeting on time.
Yeah.
Everybody laughed, and her face was cracked.
She looked like she wanted to crawl in a hole at that moment.
She was like, oh, I've been very annoying. Everybody has been in G-chat talking about me.
This is another group chat that someone's not in.
And now you know how I feel. Apologize to Tiffany.
But it's all right. But it's okay.
It's okay. But yeah, I think right then she realizes, oh, bitch, you might want to shut the fuck up. Like, you're on people's nerves.
It hit her in that moment.
You know, good. I'm glad because I've already stated all the reasons that I feel like Molly should shut up about it's small things. It's little perks and benefits. Okay, the office thing is annoying. It is. But
I just wonder, like, how do you work around that? Maybe because maybe she should take it upon herself to add things, like figure out the DocuSign and how they can integrate it into their office.
Well, I think it's a cost thing probably more than anything else. I'm thinking the courier service is cheaper.
But DocuSign is just software.
But I'm thinking like with law firms, it has to be, you probably need secure servers and all that shit and
that's
different
true,
technology.
DocuSigns are for contracts.
Right.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I'm thinking it's a cost. Whatever it boils down to is probably cost. Whereas doing things via courier may be cheaper than whatever they would need for DocuSign. I'm assuming.
Curious, yeah.
So I don't think it's just or maybe it could be that they're technologically behind.
That's what I immediately was like, a courier, that's so old school. It just seems like they have not moved on with the times.
Got it. Maybe it's that.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if that'll be what Molly's role would be to kind of like modernize the office.
Well, I think if that's what you're gonna do, you have to wait till after your first week.
That was her first day, you're right.
Because when you come in bitching about how they used to do it at your old job, you just sound like a bitch.
That's true.
So
that's not the tone you want to set.
Right. So wrong tone and wrong time. And Molly now knows it.
Oh, Molly.
She knows it now, though. She's been humbled. We all have those moments.
It's true.
We all have those moments.
She did not see this coming.
Speaking of being humbled, Daniel and Khalil are in the studio when Spider walks in.
Oh, this scene. So Spider's like, all right, I'm here. What's up? They're talking about Viola Davis's titties.
I cried at that line. I'm like, really? You know who got titties? Viola Davis? When Khalil introduced Daniel and he was like, you remember my friend from the other night? And he was like, oh yeah, at the shoot when the club got shot, my homie got hit.
He's like, he all right? And he's like,
no.
Daniel was like, that's cool. All right, so let's jump into
wait a
this
minute.
beat.
I guess that's just where we're going to leave it. So, yeah, we're getting into the beat, and Daniel plays his original track that he brought in.
Could not believe he did
and
that.
And the way he looked at Khalil.
Like if he was like
fuck
yeah,
you, nigga.
you know?
Yeah, like you don't know what you're doing.
Oh, God.
So
just dumb.
He plays it, and Spider likes it. You know, he's fucking with it. And Khalil says, well, actually, we have another version of it too, don't we? And at that point, Daniel has no choice but to play the other track.
And Spider's kind of like, all right, what's going on between you two?
Daniel's like pissed. He does this big old sigh before he plays the song. And I'm like, are you really acting like this right now?
Yo.
When he is the only reason you're having this meeting?
That ego.
Oh my God, I could not believe it.
And how you going to bite the hand that got you in the room?
Right, it doesn't make sense. You're not even all the way in the room yet. Like, you trying to get your foot in the door here. You have an opportunity because of this man, and you're going to try to undercut him?
And Khalil is his boy.
Oh, my God.
He acts
Khalil,
like it's nothing.
Since high school.
Yeah, and there's nothing that Khalil will be like, all right, well, you could get out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And Spider don't know you, so
At all.
you would just be gone.
He was doing him a solid at this point. That was dumb.
Khalil, Daniel's not thinking. Spider says, oh, you know, that one is hot too. He points out the differences. You said, you know, the musicality's better in the first one.
He was like,
the second one
drums
is,
on this one, not.
And some nigga shit. Sometimes I just want to turn up. Your music be making me want to think. And it's like, wow.
And then he asked his homeboys what they thought, but they was busy watching Mrs.
Real, that's me in the studio. Don't invite me to your session. I'm watching This Is Us.
That part took me down.
So Khalil tells him, don't even trip. I got other shit. And he's like, oh, cool, yeah.
And
you know what?
Like that,
there you go. Your track's gone. Just like
closed.
that. And the way Khalil looked at Daniel.
He looked at him like, good fucking night.
And I said, look at how unchecked jealousy and insecurity can fuck with your blessings.
Oh my God. This whole scene bothered me so much.
It did not have to go like this.
I don't like Daniel anymore.
Well, what happened, Fran? What is it?
It just made me look at him so crazy. That was such a bomb opportunity. Like, remember last episode when he was like staring at Spider, trying to figure out in the club, how can I get next to him?
Yes.
You are in the studio playing him a beat that he liked.
Right.
And this is how you go about it, being shady.
Right. Like, you just
Who wants to come in the door like that?
You just had to. Like, you could not resist. Your ego told you, I'm better than this nigga. And you could not accept that he might know better because he's actually worked with this artist before. And you just had to play your original track. And now look.
And you're right. That little look he gave him, that pissed me off the most, honestly.
Right.
Because he looked at him like, I got
Daniel
this
was
shit
challenging
now.
him. Like, I know what I'm doing.
In his studio.
I'm better than you, little nigga.
Ooh.
Child. So,
well, he got what he wanted.
Molly got her face cracked first, and Daniel is coming right in behind her. Girl. What a hard way to learn a lesson. So Issa and Daniel are at dinner.
Oh, and it's like a really nice restaurant.
It is a nice restaurant.
She's all gassed to be there. And at first I was like, who's paying for this?
But Issa is.
Issa is.
Issa invited Daniel to dinner to thank him for all of his great hospitality. She's excited.
And he's all crabby.
Of course, he's in a very shitty mood because of what happened in the studio. But he's
dumb.
Pointing out, you know, they got here after us and they got their appetizers and where are our drinks? And
she's like, all right, what is it?
Right. What's really going on
here?
Is that Jay-Z and Beyonce? No, it's us. We cute.
She's trying to, like, you know, break the energy that he's creating. And he finally kind of surrendered, like, all right, let me stop being an asshole.
Right. So he tells her about the shit that happened with Khalil. And he's like, oh, it's whatever, though. And she reacts the same way everybody else, I'm sure, did. In that we cannot understand why you would do that. Like, it's, we know that
she looked at him like, are you dumb?
I know that it's your music. And he says, you know, this is my music, but this was your foot in the door.
Right.
What in the hell is wrong with you? Issa tells him he should definitely apologize. Because
and he looked at her crazy. He looked at her like, do what?
Isn't that, see, I'm like, you still haven't learned to...
No awareness whatsoever in all of this. I thought maybe afterwards he would have had a little bit of time to be like, I fucked that whole shit up. But then when you see him talking to her about it, you realize that is not how he's seeing it
Not at all.
Not yet anyways. Hopefully later.
But yeah, maybe it's because it's too soon after it happened, but he's still too deep in his feelings to be real about it. And so he laughs in her face and says it's funny that she's giving out career advice.
Which ugly.
That was stank. And then says, but you don't even care about what you do, and I'm always saving you from some shit.
And she's like, is that how you really feel? And he just looked at her like, I said what I said.
And now you see why your friends didn't want you living with him. Now you see why, girl.
And then she had to pay for this food. Okay, after you just said that to me.
Okay, maybe I'm paying for it, but I'm eating your leftovers. Oh, watch me. I sure will. Fuck
but
you.
You saw the waiter came back like, ooh, mood change.
That was so stank of him. And once again, he does not support her in the way that she supports him.
Which
that
is
was
what,
so ugly.
This is the part where I started seeing their dynamic with a whole different lens.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I don't like this.
Yeah, she told him
I'm with her friends now.
She told him she was moving out, and he got ugly. Just like that. He's not getting what he wants, and took the shit that he went through with Khalil out on her, and just, said things that you absolutely should not tolerate from
And you know
somebody.
what? You know how he tried in the next scene when they're in the bed, he tried to act like, I didn't mean that because I was just mad about the Khalil thing. I really don't like when people do that.
Yeah, I call it nigga-lodging.
Oh, shit.
It's like, it's not an apology.
But it's also...
It's a nigga-lology. Because it's like a half-ass apology.
Can someone get us some merch, please?
It's a nigga-lology. It's nigga-lologizing. And it's like it's half-ass, completely not genuine apology that's just kind of like, I don't want you to be mad at me no more.
So let me just say
my
this
bad,
right now.
Right. I was just saying that because of the shit with Khalil.
And that's bullshit. No, that's how you feel.
That's really how you feel.
Because if you didn't feel that way, it wouldn't have come out your mouth. You wouldn't be thinking about it that way.
Or if it did, I really don't think it would have been later that night when you were like, oh, my bad. I was just in my feelings about it. Like, I feel like if you regretted it, you would have regretted it the moment you said it.
Immediately.
But she asked you about it and you looked at her like
yes.
Bitch, did I stutter? So, like, fuck you. The fact that she's even still in this bed, I'm like, Issa, now I know you're
when
that
he kissed
girl.
her on the shoulder and she actually turned around to kiss him, I was like,
here we fucking
now,
go.
Granted, she did stop it when it got a little heavy.
But I definitely thought, because, this is the way we opened up the episode with head and all that. I appreciated the realness of her being in her bonnet.
Right.
The hair was wrapped up and they were still about to get it in. I do believe that head is part of a genuine apology.
I don't.
Well, I think it's
so manipulative.
It can be. Well, okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
He knows that's gonna work.
I just don't think it's a bad way to apologize. But Issa realizes that it is not a real apology.
It's not enough.
And really, I don't even think he was trying to apologize through head. I think he was trying to fuck, period.
I think he just wanted to change the energy because it's like we both laying up in this bed back to back, tight at each other. Who wants to go to sleep like that? You know what I mean? Just feels shitty. He's like, let me just give us some head.
Perhaps. But Issa shows some incredible emotional growth.
I was very
actually stood up and clapped for my girl when she was like, "It don't feel right." I said the same. It don't feel right.
That was the realest line. It's like it's not about me being pissed at you. It's not about any of it. This just doesn't feel right.
And you really feel like you always got to save me. Like that's for me. That's even more of an incentive for me to go out into my $750 apartment and prove to you how wrong you are.
And you literally just said all these rude ass things.
Girl.
Waited till we got in the bed to quote unquote apologize. And then you think you just gonna give me head and I'm just gonna be like, all right.
Yep, sure does.
And we just gonna take it there and chill. Go to sleep like nothing happened. I love that she was like, no.
I'm glad that she really listened to herself. She wasn't feeling it. And maybe, previous versions, less mature versions of Issa would have gone along with it anyway because who doesn't like head? But this version of Issa is listening to her real feelings.
Who doesn't like head and a bed and free rent?
She's got a lot of things to be grateful for. But she really feels a way off of what he said, and she should. She deserves to. And if you're not in the mood, then I'm not in the mood. And
I'm over it.
Yep.
I'm over it.
So I'm glad that she stopped him, and I could not have been more proud. My girl is growing up.
And I really was just looking at him like, yuck. Yuck to all of this, that whole dynamic. Like, he really needs to chill. He needs to just reel it on back with trying to get with Issa and need to work on that ego.
Well, I'm ready for her to move out. And if that means, Nathan from Lyft can come back over, maybe we can call Nathan and thank him for the $50 tip. I don't know.
I have a feeling this is the last time we're going to see Daniel.
Maybe.
I feel that way.
Yeah, maybe so. Oh, which new dick are we about to fuck up with? Yay. Ew.
Watch me bounce to the next one.
Okay. I have no mistakes to make.
Oh, yo, that would be great. I'm not even mad about it.
Yes. So, any future predictions for the next episode?
I don't even know if I would call it a prediction. I think I'm just curious to see what this project management job, if she decides to take it.
Yes. What is that going to look like?
But then again, I just realized maybe she doesn't take. Well, no. Okay. Now I'm torn because I'm like the Beats crew. I feel like she's really going to move forward with applying for that job. I think she's totally going to get that job.
Yeah, I'm thinking time may be running out for We Got Y'all.
Oh, no, I think We Got Y'all done.
Because she just doesn't
over.
feel...
Antoinette's going to take her job. Because her and Frida are like in alignment way better than her and Issa. Frida and Issa are. Joanne already doesn't fuck with Frida. I mean, with Issa. So it's kind of... It looks like there's a push out that's happening. A push out from Daniel's house, a push out from We Got Y'all.
Yep.
So now I think the next phase is either this management position for the building, the Beats crew working with that super sweet guy that she met at the job fair.
Yep. I think she could do both.
Living at home, living at her new place.
I think she could do both. I think she could do Beats crew because the property manager job is part-time. So I think she can do both. I really do. And
maybe that'll be the challenge.
Maybe so, because the thing
How
is...
do I do both of these?
We know that no matter what she does, the transition will not be smooth because it's Issa.
Because it's Issa.
So when she starts this property manager job, things will go wrong.
And there will be a distracting dick that will appear
If she goes
somewhere.
to Beats crew, the kids will find, the broken pussy video on YouTube
Oh,
again.
my God.
Something's going to happen. No matter what. I think my girl Molly is going to straighten up and fly right at the black firm.
I think so, too.
I hope she's not. Yeah, I hope that we don't have any insane drama there, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm hoping they didn't take it too personal and can kind of take it as lightheartedly. Like, that's just how she is. She's coming from a different position. You know what I mean? So hopefully they can all laugh about it. And then she can kind of move forward and be like, listen, I just want us to be great. I want this office to be great. Here are a couple of things that I want us to work on to make the office move better.
I think she doesn't even necessarily need to apologize. She just needs to stop comparing this place to her old place all the fucking time.
Yes.
And if she has cost-effective ideas to solve problems in the office, then those can be presented. But again, I think you need to give it at least a month before you start going in telling people about how they run their business.
You're right.
Timing is everything, girl. You just got here. And again, you got the things you asked for. So maybe humble yourself a little bit. Come down off of your, I've only been in white spaces and we only have Fiji on tap.
Only eat kale in my office.
Right. If you could just bring it down on back to Negro-ass reality, we would appreciate. Molly got a job. Remember that?
I love how you view this.
Yes. I love it.
I think it's realistic, and hopefully she takes the advice.
Hopefully so. But we will see what's up next for our super friends, Molly and Issa, next week on Insecure HBO. In the meantime, follow the conversation with #InsecuriTEA. I am loving all y'all's different perspectives and feedback.
Y'all are funny. Oh, and I have to clarify something. I did not have someone sleeping on my couch for 2 years.
Oh.
Someone took my joke with you totally serious. You saw all the comments like, friend.
Well, hell, I thought the same thing. I was like, yes, shame her. What the fuck?
First of all, y'all know how I am. I don't even like people in my house.
That's why I was like, 2 years?
That would never happen. No. When you said you've never dated someone after, what was the word you used?
I don't know.
Damn it, I can't remember it. But basically, you were saying if someone did you dirty, you've never just stayed with them.
I've never stayed with somebody who cheated on me or anything.
Right after, and that's when I was like, well, I have 2 years after. You know what I mean? So it was a relationship that even
got it.
Though I know something crazy happened. Okay, I continue.
Thank you for clarifying, girl, because we were judging.
Y'all had me, even though I found it so funny. That's what I love about the hashtag. Oh yeah, y'all was judging up a storm, but it was funny because y'all used the funniest gifs.
They do. Oh no, I love the insecurity hashtag. Everybody has jokes.
It was like
So,
2
yes.
years.
And of course, follow the show itself through hashtag InsecuriHBO. And I think that will wrap up this week's episode, Fran.
Let's see if we're right, Crissle.
All right, fingers crossed. We will see y'all next week.
Bye.
Insecurity is a loudspeaker studio production. Our producer is Matt Raz. Our editor is Ty Worley. Join in the conversation on social media using the hashtag InsecuriTEA. And don't forget to follow at LSN Podcasts.